Okay, hello everybody. It's your boy Max again, and today we are going to dive into a very exciting team that's being built here by Gareth Emery. The vision is clear, the drive is clear, the money has been spent, and we have a team that is looking scarier than I would have first imagined at the start of the transfer window. As you all would have remembered, Stevie G was the coach last year, and Gareth Emery took the team on when they were in a pickle at around right before Christmas, I believe, during the World Cup time. And ever since he's taken over, Aston Villa has become very resilient, has been scoring a lot of goals, and have definitely been a challenge to play against. And not only have they gone and strengthened the squad, they've added quality players to strengthen the squad. Like normally you would add bench strength, but the players they've brought in are pretty much what I would call first team players compared to who they have currently. They might take some games here and there to settle in. But other than that, I think the team is very well equipped to compete against the very top. So you have Yuri Tielemans, who's joined on a free from Leicester City. I could not believe that he had picked Aston Villa, but there must have been something that Unai Emery must have spoken with him about, convinced him. I honestly thought he would either end up at one of the top six clubs or he would probably end up in Italy or Spain, but he has stayed in England. He has joined Aston Villa, and I think when we look at the lineup a bit later on, we will see where he might potentially play for this team. And I might add that he was fantastic in that preseason game. I forget against whom, but it was very recent, and a few of his balls over the top were just perfectly weighted and accurate, and I think caused a lot of problems for the opposition. So great signing, Yuri Tillemans, especially on a free, and to further bolster their defense, they've added Pau Torres. Which is again another unbelievable signing for a club like Aston Villa. No disrespect, of course, to Aston Villa, but I honestly thought Pau Torres would end up at a much stronger and recognized team. Aston Villa still building into something. So, again, surprised that he was lured to Aston Villa, which only means that the competition for places at the back would only improve the overall condition of the defense and the way that Aston Villa want to play by having that control. So Pau Torres is already a Spanish international and very good left-sided central defender. So another great signing. And to top it all off, I when this news broke, I was very, very surprised. Diaby was linked to several top teams. Nobody actually ended up bidding for Diaby. I think everyone's just testing the waters, but you can see how exciting this player is based on the numbers that he's put up in Germany over the past few seasons. Very consistent winger, similar to Leon Bailey, I would say, when Bailey was signed also by Aston Villa, incidentally. But there's something about Diaby which I feel will inject something of a Dimitri Payet feel to this Aston Villa squad. Something that how Payet had come into West Ham and was putting up some amazing numbers. I have a very good feeling for Diaby moving to Aston Villa. So yeah, so Tielemans, Pau Torres, Diaby adding to a very strong core of the Aston Villa team that already includes and still includes Douglas Luiz, John McGinn. You have Lucas Digne as well as I think they signed Alex Moreno recently to fight for those left back positions, and at right back you have Matty Cash, who I don't believe has much of a backup except maybe Callum Chambers has the ability to play on that right hand side. But Ezra Konsa was tried in that right center back position if they switch into a back three, but you have those flexibility sort of positions, but ultimately very strong in midfield, lots of pacey wingers, and yeah, and an attacker such as Ollie Watkins, who also has been super consistent since Aston Villa have signed him. It's looking to be a very good season for Aston Villa from in terms of the squad depth that they have. Keep in mind that Emi Buendia has just ruptured his ACL as of today, August 10th. So very unfortunate news. But also with this unfortunate news has come in, has also brought in some other news with respect to, I believe, Nicolo Zaniolo is now being linked to Aston Villa. So again, if that happens, it will be another coup to sort of add in even more quality to the squad. So from the players that have left, Marvelous Nakamba had not played last season anyway. He was on loan in the championship. Ashley Young has now left on a free to Everton, which was kind of surprising because I thought with his experience it would probably be good to have him, especially when Aston Villa will be playing in Europe this season. Morgan Sanson never really kicked on since he's been signed. He's been loaned out again, and the rest aren't key players. Wesley never really got going. Judd Steer as well. Just overall, again, some cleaning house that was done. Emery has a good squad to work with. Lots you can expect from, of course, the young players such as Kamara and Ramsey. And yes, I'm definitely looking forward to watching them play. I had followed them during the summer, during the preseason games in the US, and they looked very exciting. Loved how Emery was bringing his midfielders in to receive the ball and then fast transitions and making those runs in behind were players like Watkins and Diaby. So Coutinho might have a renaissance. That's someone to watch, as well as Cameron Archer and Danny Ings to provide that backfill for Watkins in the event rest is required. So again, fitness is important. So if this team stays fit, then there is much to ponder over what this team can achieve and build on from last season. Martinez, of course, the first name on the team sheet, very reliable, the Argentine World Cup winner. You have a settled center back pairing of Mings and Konza, which I believe will start the season. Pau Torres and Diego Carlos will obviously be given that time before they're fully brought into the starting lineup. You might even see Pau Torres start instead of Lucas Digne because Cash in preseason has been bombing forward a lot, so which means that you leave those three, Pau Torres, Mings, and Konza to cover when that happens. But I think with the way that Emery wants to play, he might start with both Digne and Cash. And Digne, as we know, has a great killer ball with his left foot, and he will make those overlaps. Same with Cash on the right hand side, as Diaby likes to cut into his left and stay in those more central to very high positions, almost in a line with Ollie Watkins. So, as I mentioned earlier, unfortunate injury to Emi Buendia. I believe he would have started in this lineup where Bailey is, but even more chance now for Bailey to finally stake a claim in the squad and prove that he belongs. Of course, I didn't mention the key youngster coming up, uh, Fologe Bides. He's done really well in preseason. Want to look forward to seeing his progress this season as well. Douglas Luiz is still there to form the base of the midfield with Kamara. And John McGinn usually takes the ball, progresses it forward, so I'm expecting him to be a bit further forward out of the three of them. And yeah, that's the team. This is the very exciting looking Aston Villa team. Emery will obviously have his sights on staying in the top seven, if not improving from the position last year to potentially breaking into the top six and Europe league positions. And of course, if he wins the conference leagues, he will make the Europa League as well. So there you have it. That is Aston Villa for you. Prediction for me, I believe they could break into the top six. I think there's enough quality in this team. If everybody can stay fit, of course, it's a big if with the Conference League and Euro qualifiers. You will have a lot of these players sort of represent their international team. So my guess is they will end up in sixth position and go far in the Conference League. Thank you.